what some of the things are that we already heard from the community, and how our plan really does try to respond to a number of very complicated issues that make up the site that Bridgepoint is planning to develop here in Riverdale. So thank you for showing us and for being here, and I look forward to the opportunity for dialogue when our presentation comes.
This building has to remain while the new hospital is built. This is the existing Don Jail building, this is the Heritage Don Jail building, and this area is actually covered by heritage easement and agreement whereby you won't block the view of the heritage building. So really the only place you can put the new hospital would be up the west side of the site.
Jail says that you must preserve a view corridor, and the view corridor is a cone starting at Gerard Street going up to the jail. And all it says is that you have to preserve a view of the jail. You can use that land for a parking lot, and it will still preserve the view of the jail. So the heritage easement agreement doesn't say this has to be a park, and it just says there's a small cone in front that has to be preserved. No, the heritage easement agreement just says you have to preserve a view of the jail. Okay?
My question is regarding we've seen now 5 incarnations of the Riverdale Hospital, starting contemporary with the jail in 1860, when this land was put aside for public use. Now, what's different with each of these incarnations, which have averaged about 30 years? If you divide the 145 years of existence by the number of incarnations, you'll see that we can expect 30 years from now, whatever's built now will be obsolete. However, there will be one significant difference. The history of public lands and public funding of hospitals or healthcare facilities is such that they have room to expand. What is going to happen under this proposal is that the next reincarnation will be dead in the water. I ask you to think about that. One of the lessons of history is you can chart where something's going from where it's been. So what will the difference be? Let's say 30 years from now, some of us are still alive. You're going to rue today, if you decide on January 31st, to sell off public lands to private hands. You will not have another hospital on this site 30 years from now, because you won't have anywhere to go.
I want to point out one thing that really made clear, which kind of opened my eyes watching the presentation and not in a very comforting way, is what we're losing here and what we're not getting back in return. The staff report pointed out that in the OP, this land is designated open space, and there's a large portion of the land which is zoned and actually used as a city park. Now, maybe only 15 people use it for lawn bowling. That's not a reason to build a building on it. Personally, I accept building a building on it, building a building on a park. I think there are probably a lot of awards where that would be absolutely non-negotiable. Because from Bridgepoint's point of view, it allows them to build a new hospital while the residents stay in the old one, and then move the residents into the new one. But then I would think the tit for tat and the quid pro quo is, okay, well, we get to save the half-round building, don't we? We've given up public land at Zone Park that has been open space for 150 years. The answer is no, you don't actually. That gets torn down. Okay, well, is that new open space? No, it's not actually. A building goes there, and then another building there, and then another building there, and then another building, and there's a hospital there. So there's something in the staff report that saving that half-round would result in too much development on the site, but if you look at this, they've built everywhere they can on the site except for the heritage easement agreement where they're not allowed to build. There's no other place they can build. So to say that we're getting a park there, that's already secured through through a heritage easement agreement as open space. There can't be a building there. That's something the community already has. We're losing open space there, the best open space, right beside the views of the Dawn, right on the valley. And what are we getting in return? We're not getting anything in return. The one thing.
Not looking, obviously, to turn over our real estate every 30 or 40 years. It's not a great plan. So
are you
clearly,
turning it over? Are you turning it over?
excuse me?
Are you turning it over?
Am I turning what over? My future hospital that I haven't built yet? No.
Well, the public
No.
lands.
Well, you know what? We have a lot of planning to do on this site. And what we're proposing today is not that we are going to be selling or anything else. There will be huge business planning and development planning that will be done for the rest of the site. The current hospital building is not anticipated to be finished. It's step one. With all of the processes that we need to go through, and with all of them going exactly on time, the current hospital building will not be finished until the year 2011.
Sorry history of amalgamation in this city. The city boundaries used to end at Chester Hill, and we considered ourselves part of Riverdale. That is no longer so. I was extremely annoyed that no consultation invitations were sent north of the Danforth, to my knowledge. And, for Bridgepoint, and I'm very uncomfortable with the name Bridgepoint, because that was something cooked up after the hospital restructuring committee, courtesy of the Mike Harris government, attempted to shut that institution down. I hope we all remember that. And so we talk about heritage elements. Let's talk about the half-round building. Howard Chapman and his partners, fabulous work. It exists as a landmark. It's already been established. The half-round aspect incorporates the entire view of the valley, not merely a cone coming up from Gerrard Street. That was done with intention, to help with the healing process. The Japanese garden, which has not been mentioned at all anywhere, has been maintained for the last 40 years, and it also has healing properties. My mother-in-law, 6 months ago, had a hip replacement operation and convalesced there for 6 weeks. And those attributes contributed in a major way to her recovery.
If you have mobility issues, there's actually inside the vestry, just down that hallway, there's actually a washroom that's lovely if you use it for mobility issues.